What's up to the couple of guys that have joined in? You got any questions? Just throw them in the chat. Glitches are normally something that you'd add later on as like a bit of flair to a certain point. Just working out the rough idea at the minute. So check this little trick out. I've just made that nice like mono Reese Moog type bass, this sound. But it's a bit static, and I've got this great little trick for widening it up essentially. So like we're going to send it to its own bus. We just use bus 1 because that's free. And I've got a little pre-made here. I called it Wide Aux. It's basically using like a mid-side EQ, a reverb, and makes use of this guy here, which basically lets us manipulate left and right timings a little bit differently. And just check this out when I send into that wide aux. And what's dead nifty about it is if we go into utility, gain, and grab this little guy, stick it in mono, still works in mono, no problem at all. Look at that now crazy wide ripping bass. It works perfectly fine in mono because we initially made it in mono, and then I've used that little trick there to stereo it up a bit. Just extended all the MIDI notes out there on the bass, so that instead of stopping, the Reese always runs and the melody sort of sits on top of it. And you might not have even seen it happen earlier, but I did just record in bit of a wobble just using the keyboard as well. I just want that bass to start off a little bit slower, so we're just going to ease the filter attack in just a touch more. Right, so cool, so I kind of like that. The main melody running through is alright, the Reese running alongside it is alright as well. Definitely needs like filling out and balancing in a mix, but we can keep working on it as we go. What's up, Tyler? You okay? Thanks, Tyler. It's made in Native Instruments Monarch and then sent to this wide aux here. So if you weren't here for that section, if we grab the bass here, if we turn off the bus, it's just mono, dead center Reese. When we send it to the bus, that's what makes it wide and kind of shreds to the sides a bit. But it still works in mono, so if we put this on here, switch it to mono, we just get that original back. It's good. It's done using Waves artificial double track, then an EQ in mid-side, taking the mids away, and then into a reverb. Thank you, Radim. Not really sure what else to put in at the minute. I'm thinking maybe like a pad with a bit of a chopped feel, or maybe just balance this out and see if that gives me an idea where to go. Yeah, Tyler, like, it's the same principle. Just instead of like using the delay, I'm making use of the real ADT, which does essentially the same thing. It's delaying the left and right channels, but it's a little bit fancier because you can move it round slightly in frequencies. That's what gives you that cool phasing left and right. And then obviously sending it to the reverb gives that sort of multi-delay effect. But dead simple, just sending it to a bus means you can control it as well. So if you do want it to go dead money, you can just automate the bus to come down rather than doing it all on the one channel. Only reason I work like that. This might be a bit boring to watch, but I'm feeling this needs more of like a roll at the end. So I'm going to go into the MIDI of these and use these drummers and probably build up a bit of a roll at the end. Because it's just, at the minute, it's just that triple snare, just a bit weak. And I think that's what's putting me off. Sweet. So when you say sub layers, you mean just make multiple versions of it? Generally, I don't do that just because I can send it to a bus and get it to work. I've got everything pre-made, so I can literally like open a new channel, hit settings, load up my wide aux, and it's got everything on it ready to go. Plus, if you load up multiple things, if I tweak anything later, I've got to go and tweak like the left, the right, and the center all separately. This way, everything just works all together. But yeah, the reverb is partly what gives it the fullness, right? So if we solo the bass out, let's take off the RC24, which is the reverb. So it's still stereo, but when we switch the reverb in, right, you get that crossover between the left and right. Let's exaggerate it a touch. Right, so instead of it now being like a hard left and hard right, they kind of cross over. Yeah, mainly workflow, because coming back and editing stuff is not my jam. I probably scrap about 300 projects a year. I do the dead projects folder is massive. I've got 7 releases for this year, and last year's folder's got about 60 tracks in it, so that's a lot of scrappage. But at the end of the day, I just create and enjoy it, and then put out what I think's best, like best way to roll. I like your idea about that sax change at the end, so I might just see if we can like maybe put another note in, give it a little flurry at the end, just to signify the end of the 16. So maybe if we shut this down, we could go up to the A to finish it. And potentially route it. That's sticking on ground now. Now, to be fair, there's no reason I can't like half time and flip around with the sax a little bit. I mean, we've got 16 bars. It just needs something else. There's a bit of space missing. Let's have a look at tonal balance. But if you don't know about tonal balance, this curve in here I've got as a custom curve, but it's a really nice balance that works for my track. Effectively, you want to get everything matching roughly on this white line, and then you've got movement around it depending where you are on the track, but you want to be somewhere in that range. If I end up like with a big dip around like 400 to 600, I know there's just something missing in that space, or like mix wise I've not got something bang on. Just use it now and then just to get an idea of where I'm at and what like I can feel something's missing but I can't place it, especially on live stream where I can't just ponder and drink a cup of tea. so that's going to work if it doesn't go back into the silent sax. Maybe we'll run the sax the whole time and then bin it off for just some breeze later. And tonal balance is isotope. If you've gone and got Neutron 2 or Ozone 8, this comes with it because they work hand in hand. See the little menu at the bottom, select plugin. You can select and work from other plugins within it. Pretty useful. When I did some work for isotope last year, they were kind enough to give me pretty much everything when I did their RX videos. Sweet, so that works as a loop, and the extra little shaker in there is working for us as well. I'm tempted to put a crash in there, but that's super cliche. So for the minute, we'll roll with that, and we'll maybe let's risk it and add something else in. Yeah, to be honest, I probably wouldn't grab Ozone 8 now. I would wait it out and see what's going to come. So like they can update it fairly regularly. It's been, I think, 2 years. It'll be 2 years coming round anyway that Ozone 8 dropped. So yeah, maybe sit on that and wait for a little bit and see what's coming, or see if there's any like upgrade offers or they tease anything. There were a few people upset that they dropped like 7 and 8 so close together, along with Neutron and Neutron 2 like less than a year apart. I think they've like taken their foot off and they'll roll something out soon, so it's been a long period now. But I would personally be going for mixing tools over Ozone, depending on what stage you're in music creation. But a lot of people focus on getting mastering plugins, but generally like getting the mix downs the real trick. If you're not good at mastering, send it to a mastering engineer. Everything I've sent out this year is still gone to a mastering engineer, even though I'm pretty competent. It's good to have someone else listen over your tune. Right, we will save this real quick and we'll just call it live stream. And we'll risk opening another complete control. Oh, okay, I've already called that live stream with me. Alright, live stream DMB. I have a you're going to reload everything. I have a problem where Logic crashes quite a bit when I'm streaming and have too much stuff open, but we'll risk it for a biscuit and see if we can get another one open. And I'm going to put some kind of pad chord progression in the background. Don't half like to lag up and wait for things to load. Yeah, man, learn more and more as you go. Like if you're mastering music, master somebody else's tracks. My biggest bit of advice. Yeah, the problem is when a track gets to that stage, I've sometimes spent hundreds of hours on it. So I put a video up for Premiere today for a track that I started in 2015. It's got 2 vocalists on it. We did have another singer on it as well. So it had like 40 tracks of vocals, and it's been a nightmare to mix. Get to the point of mastering it, and I've spent so much time with it that I couldn't listen to it. I can't be objective to it anymore. So yeah, master someone else's music, something you've not spent a lot of time with. That's priority number 1. wonder if I'll get away copying that melody over. So what is that, finishing your own tracks but then you haven't got the tools yourself to master them, or this for you're writing for other people? Ooh, that's quite sick. I think that's going to fight too much with the Reese, but that's kind of a happy accident. Alright, if we bump it up an octave, does it still play the game for us? Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's send that to the bass bus and get them working together. Yeah, fair enough. So like if it's lacking tools for your own tracks and you're having to self-master, that is the reality of it sometimes. Like my beat tapes and things like that, sending 30 beats out to get mastered just to be released, it's just not viable. Even though they sell pretty well now, it would still, you know, set me back about 300 to 400 quid per album just to run them through. It's not worth it. So yeah, get some tools, learn the skills, but you got to be objective. So you know, come back to a track that you really spent some time away from, not thousands of hours in, and then try and master it the same day. Take a break from the tune. Yeah, have you seen that I use the monitors from IK, I'm guessing? I actually really like them. The mastering engineer I sent all the tracks off, because he follows me on social media. He genuinely sent an email, like, have you mixed these on those tiny little monitors that you were showing? I was like, well, yeah, I have. And he couldn't believe that I'd got such decent mixes out of using them. But I'm actually really happy with them. I work in a really bright room, so like having some small monitors is great. Now, don't get me wrong, I've still got the 8-inch actives, but they're not even set up. Most of those tracks mixed down completely on the small monitors, checking in headphones, reference on some like earpods and other headphones just to make sure it works on as many things as possible. But yeah, like some decent small speakers, if you're in a bright room, definitely do it. Oh yeah, definitely. You work the regular job, and yeah, put everything you can into music. But equally, you've got to learn to start making profit from music as well, right? It's not that hard to do, right? Once you get something out there, it's kind of weird. You have to put all of the energy in first and then put something out, and then you get to sort of reap the rewards. It's a little bit different to a regular job where you're used to getting consistent pay. But I'm at the point where I live doing this. Like, you'll see me streaming in the middle of the day sometimes when I've got no other projects and things to do. Work from home. Like, I've got a room in my house that is my studio. It works for me. Like, it's completely doable. Think of it like a dam, right? You get all of that energy up and you are ready to burst the dam, and then you can just let the valve go and it all starts pouring out, but you can keep putting more and more energy in, and just eventually you've got enough to power you along, right? Best way to monetize? The best way to monetize is to have lots of different ways that you are monetized. I did a stream not that long ago of 21 different ways to do it. So, like, think of it this way, right? YouTube is monetized. The track that I produce on YouTube that was monetized while you guys watched it, and some of you would have seen an ad coming into this. That then gets streaming revenue or sales revenue. I can make a sample pack out of the track and sell the sample pack. play it live, radio revenue. I could make an instrumental version and lease that out. I could teach people how to make it. I'm kind of doing that now. I do some like one-to-one stuff as well. So I could do a session like this and explain absolutely everything I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and they keep the project. That's another way to monetize it. Yeah, there's so many ways to monetize. Yeah, like use DistroKid and distribute out to everywhere. I mean, the other thing, I make loads of hip hop instrumentals as well, right? I put those beat tapes out and I lease the instrumentals. So if you go to warriorsoundbeats.com, that's me, that's all of my instrumentals up for lease, but you can also buy the beat tapes or you can stream the beat tapes. Those beats can also be sync licensed with TV and other shows, and that's a whole different side of income. Like, you guys don't see that much, only the people who are interested in it do. But I create continuously, and that's actually how I started, so I still do it a bit. And I've linked it into my brand, which is Warrior Sound. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that. I mean, if you guys are interested in it, I think there's probably a link below this video to warriorsound.pro, which I do have my course on. It's hell of an expensive course. Like, I wouldn't recommend it if you're just starting out, but that does teach you a lot of it. Jump on my mail list and you'll probably at some point get a rerun of the video if you want to see it. Sell the beat tapes. So if you head over to iTunes right now and hammer in Warrior Sound beats, you'll find like grind beat tapes, gritty beat tapes, and some others. The actual beats themselves, they can also land on Warrior Sound Beats. And then there's who's my sync, I can't remember who my sync licensing's with. It's like Artistly.io or something like that, and they do creative sync licensing for instrumentals. I had to just play that for a second to remember what we were doing. So yeah, I've got that like pulsing bass thing going on now, haven't I? I can probably talk over the bass, you'll be able to hear me. Yeah. Yeah, no worries, Tyler. You know, warriorsound.co.uk, you can probably jump on the mail list and stuff from there as well. Feel free to just email me as well. I can, or at least I try to, reach out to everyone who emails. While I can anyway. Like, the more this grows, the more crazy I get. Yeah, I have mastered other people's music, but I generally don't like to. I think there's people out there who are better at it than me. If someone wants me to master their music, I will do it, but I would generally recommend the guy that I send all my tracks off to. He's just, it's what he does. You know, he masters, that's it. He's not here saying he mixes and produces. He masters music. That's what he does, and he's better at it than me as far as I'm concerned. But if someone wants me to, yeah, I can get decent masters. There's a few tracks. If you look up like Trigger Rider, most of his stuff I've done the mastering for. What do you do if ones I would happily... Okay, so I do the one-on-ones. What I often do is, well, if you work in Logic, I'll get you to send me a project, and I'll record something like this just for you on your project and send you the project back with all of my changes, then a video explaining how and why I've done them. If you want to do something like that, do just reach out to me via email and we'll work it out. Right, so I like that pulsing wobble thing that's going on. Let's Pro Q to it. And it's going to need the sub removing because that's what's fighting with it, I reckon. Yeah, there we are. But that I kind of like. Yeah, that's pretty sick. I wonder if we send it to the stereo bus as well, if it will just get dramatic AF. actually know what it needs. It needs some saturation, which I should probably do in the plugin, but let's live on the edge. Why not? Yeah, Saturn. Actually, let's trash and we'll involve it. This, guys, by the way, is what a plugin list ends up looking like when you work for about 30 different companies. You can never find anything. There we are. So, talk through this. If you don't know about this little trick with trash, it's got something called the convolve. So I'm actually going to turn off all the distortion units, go to this convolve section, switch that on. And what it does, it effectively runs it through physical objects, as if you're like pressing a speaker to a screen. You know, it gives crazy distortions. We're going to just try that out on this pulsing sound palaver. See what we can get out of it. I've put a limiter on the master, I hope, because this goes mad. Yeah, so I'm not going to blow your guys' ears out. That's adding some textures I like. Let's go to trash, some drive. This will be horrendous. Add a little sidechain. You mean sidechain to the pulse of the second bass? That might work. I wanted to make it a bit of a more mad sound, but yeah, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was thinking of using an envelope follower, right? But it's going to take too much out of the out of the main reefs. It's pulsing like that. What I was thinking of doing instead is actually making use of the multiband up here and using it on a cheeky sidechain. So what we would do Should really start naming my instruments. If we put the sidechain on inst 5, which I think is, yeah, that pulsing, we'll see it in here, and we can find a good spot so they stop battling together. That they almost follow the same sound. So if we maybe cut this, around here, based on that, it'll let it get through a touch. It can be pretty harsh with the way it cuts off, maybe not that big. Yeah, so it's kind of like pulsing as it goes now, right? They're not fighting as much, and it lets that get through a little bit. I think what we'll do on this is give this a little boost to cut through as well. Little boost, he says, giving it like 20 dB. If I got to unmute, that'll be white. There you go. Even if we've been doing this for like 15 years, you still do the mute thing. About there. Control that peak. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to dynamic EQ this pulsing one because it's got some big spikes coming through. I'm not going to use the F6 though, just because I haven't got it preloaded and I'm lazy. What I do have is Neutron 2 just there. And that's got a pretty solid dynamic EQ on it, and we'll even cheat and use the learn function. That learn function, by the way, is a lifesaver. So I just hit learn and it would have found all the key peaks for me. Like if I click on one now and gain it, it will be bang on a harmonic. See? So now I can just dial it back, switch on dynamic, narrow off the Q a little bit, and job is done. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I think we're gonna have this pulse actually a little bit harder, and then they should be working kind of well together. Yeah, I like that. Is that all we've done though? We've made 16 bars and I've been going for what, an hour and 15 minutes. Progress is slow, guys. I think I've been chatting to you lot a fair bit as well. Oh yeah, no worries, Aidan. doesn't seem too shabby. Does it still work in mono though? We didn't test that on the bass. Just cancelling the move a little bit. Oh no, that's alright. It's not balanced too well. Yeah. You know what? Let's just have a little browse for some sample ideas. If any of you guys who are in here having a nice little chat checked out my new single, by the way, you should definitely all go and do that. Selfless plug. What we're in, we're playing in F major. What do we fancy? Maybe see if we can steal a melody from something that works in time. So look at piano. We've got anything in F? Anytime, man. Just reach out. Have a good night. Guitar could sit in there. I kind of suck at making guitar rhythm, guitar melody, sorry. But yeah, good. Actually, I've got that Native Instruments Strummer guitar that I never use. Maybe we could give that a bash. However, I quite like these sounds, and they're just kind of a little bit off point, which I liked. I'm thinking maybe a delay. They just add a little something, fill in the space. Are you off as well, Redim? Yeah, I actually like that. What I'm going to do is copy that one. Good night, dude. And yeah, I'll probably have a play around with some guitar ideas. I think that's going to sit in there nicely, in that it's got the right space for like an acoustic guitar feel. We'll play around and see what we get. I'm going to try this out real quick. Yeah, now that works for me. Thinking a bit of delay on these. Let's make ourselves a delay bus. And you know what? Just tape delay will do the job, I reckon. 1/4, probably 1/8. Quite a good feedback. All wet, 0 dry. Not too bothered about character for the minute. Let's just go max and max and see what we get. Cool. Dial you back, reckon 9 dB. Knock you back in level 8. that gives us a bit of a transition. Let's make it 32 bars. See what we can find guitar wise. Might even just cheat and use the same notes so it all sits together. Let's hope we don't crap out on RAM by adding yet another complete control. That's the best guitar I've got. And if we do, we'll call it a night. So who have I got left out of the 3 guys watching? Hopefully you're getting something out of it and learning something. Man, it takes so long to load when streaming. Go. So I'll warn you now, there's a good chance when I load this we're going to get a crash, but if not, we might get a melody, which is just as good, right? What will you call that one? I think it's this guy here. I think pattern 6 string. Let's give you a bash. Okay, there's some ideas in there, definitely, but just for reference, I've never actually bothered using this. So I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. Okay, we can work with that, I reckon. Let's have a listen. Let's try blagging it by using the same melody as the sax. Okay, to a degree, that's arguably pretty good. Missing off on a couple of things. We're going out of this octave range. Let's drop it down. Okay, definitely a timing thing. Then it won't sit in time with the rest of the track, will it? Also doesn't sound right. It sounds alright on its own, but once you get it with everything else, it's just not sitting right. Okay, that's got to be down to the velocity of it, surely, wasn't that? Up to there. Apparently not. Okay, just want, alright, okay, because the guitar, it's not going to go past there. Right, okay. Alright, so maybe we just underline it with common chord progression instead. Which would be approximately something like that. Let's try that. Just ain't playing for us, is it? Right, hang on. That way it sounds off. They're all in different keys. Because it should be just syncing to that. Maybe I should learn how to use this before I try and do it on a live stream. What do you reckon? Oh, that's just wicked. Just not working. Let's, what else we get in there? Let's use the same melody from here again. Let's try some different sounds out, eh? Yeah, that's working alright, and it sits alright on top. What I've done wrong though is I've got some key changes in the bottom, and that's what's giving us that blip there. Let's get rid of those boys. So it might look like I'm doing nothing, but I'm tweaking it all on the keyboard. No, what don't you like about the snare? Yeah, that's getting there. That's just getting pushed a little bit too much in places. Oh wait, why is this update up? Get the compression off there. Cool, so I can see what that needs to catch. That, and we'll just catch that top end. Oh, top end, like I am on it. About there. Crazy harsh with it. I think maybe what you didn't like about the snare is it's losing some of its 200 Hz to the bass line. So we can maybe fix that, but it's super punchy here. It's just a layer of what a Lensman snare and my own, I think. Yeah, my snare and Lens snare. I am pretty happy with how that's going. I am gonna wrap up though. Doesn't seem like you guys have got any more questions, and my ears probably need a rest before I can really think about what I'm going to do next. So, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Appreciate it. Speak soon.